Hi guys, Reviewz here, bringing you this review on Castlevania. Now before there was Buffy, Angel or Blade, there was Simon Belmont. Building on the source material of the Bram Stoker novel, Castlevania was a very challenging platforming game, leading to a confrontation that would result in a generational war between the Belmont clan and the Prince of Darkness. Well, I hope you enjoy this review on Castlevania.
Castlevania is a side-scrolling platform adventure game developed and published by Konami for the Family Computer Disk System in Japan in 1986, and in 1987 was ported to cartridge format for the Nintendo Entertainment System in North America, closely followed by a European release in 1988. The player takes control of Simon Belmont, a 22-year-old vampire hunter in the year 1691, who must defeat the vampire Dracula in his castle, the eponymous Castlevania. When the family's nemesis is resurrected after being defeated by Simon's ancestor Christopher Belmont in 1591 due to a black mass ritual conducted by a group of cultists, Simon takes the mysterious whip known as the Vampire Killer that has been passed through his family and sets out to vanquish Dracula. The game is loosely based on Bram Stoker's novel, although features none of the characters from the book except for the Prince of Darkness. Castlevania is a typical platform game of the 8-bit era. The game has 6 levels that take place in Castlevania, which are played in a strictly linear progression. Simon's main weapon is the Vampire Killer, which can be accessed by pressing the B button and can be upgraded up to 3 times by obtaining special items through the course of the game, which transforms it into a chain whip and extends its length. In addition, various sub-weapons can be gained that provide different means of attack. For example, the boomerang can be thrown straight ahead and crosses the length of the screen before returning to the point where it was thrown, and the stopwatch, which halts enemy movement for a short period of time. Simon can collect hearts by breaking candlesticks and other items located in the castle, and these are used as ammunition for secondary weapons, though Simon can carry only up to 1 sub-weapon at a time. Players are awarded with points for killing enemies and clearing a stage. The amount of points gained at the end of the level depends on how quickly it was completed, with extra lives being earned by gaining enough points. After beating the game, players return to the first stage while retaining their weapons and score, although this time they encounter stronger enemies. This is often referred to as the second quest, or hard mode. Each of the game's 6 levels concludes with a boss fight, of which these bosses are taken from the repertoire of horror literature, such as the Giant Bat, Medusa, Frankenstein's monster, the Grim Reaper, and of course Dracula himself. Throughout stages are pits and other traps that cause instant death. Enemies try to take advantage of these, as Simon is pushed back when he takes damage. Enemies become harder to kill and deliver greater damage as the player progresses further into the game, eventually to the point where Simon will be killed after taking 4 hits. The graphics do a good job of capturing the creepy atmosphere of Dracula's castle, with fluid animations for the NES and a muted colour palette to depict the grim surroundings and enemies like mummies and bats. Of course the graphics have aged, that of every other NES game, but still highlights the graphical prowess of the console. The music for this game was composed by Kinyo Yamashita, who is credited under the pseudonym James Banana, a parody of James Bernard, the composer of the 1958 film Dracula, and Saito Terashima. Castlevania was Yamashita's first project while employed at Konami, as well as her first composing experience. Though Castlevania is the only score she provides for the series, the soundtrack is catchy and atmospheric, with songs such as Vampire Killer and Wicked Child having become frequently recurring tunes in the franchise, and often appear in remixed forms in later titles. The things I didn't like with this game is that it's mercilessly unforgiving. Enemies can take huge chunks out of your health bar, while only getting in a limited amount of retaliation. It doesn't help when enemies knock you back after being hit, as you can easily fall into pits or other traps without meaning to, and if you find yourself in a tight spot, then it's likely you'll have no way out. Climbing stairs can be difficult, as you have to press up on the control pad, which sometimes doesn't always respond as you would like. That being said, the game does well to incorporate many enemies from the horror genre, as well as creating a strong central protagonist who is believable and who is up to the task of defeating Dracula. Castlevania was rated the 22nd best game ever made on a Nintendo system in Nintendo's Power Top 200 Games list, as well as the 14th best game for the NES. Simon Belmont would return in 1986 in Vampire Killer and in the next official sequel, Castlevania II: Simon's Quest, released in 1987, once again taking on the count. In conclusion, Castlevania is one of the highlights of the NES catalogue. The game kick-started a historic franchise, which is still ongoing, creating a dark, gothic tale of a family fighting Dracula in an unending battle across generations, with the second quest adding to the replay value. If you'd like to know more about Castlevania, check out my gaming rewind on the series. Castlevania is a game that captures the imagination and chronicles the adventures of the original Vampire Slayer.
Well, that was my review on Castlevania. If you liked what you saw, let me know by leaving a comment, like this video, and subscribe to my channel for more gaming reviews and retrospectives. Until next time, peace out guys.